In the heart of the medieval world, a great injustice unfolded. The Fourth Crusade, intended to liberate the Holy Land, took a dark turn. Instead of fighting Muslims, the Crusaders attacked Constantinople. This magnificent city was the heart of the Byzantine Empire, a Christian power. It was a betrayal of faith and a stain on the history of Christianity. The Fourth Crusade began in 1202. Pope Innocent III called for a new crusade. His goal was to reclaim Jerusalem from the Muslims. The Crusaders were a mix of knights, soldiers, and pilgrims. They were bound by their faith and a desire to free the Holy Land. Little did they know they were marching towards a different kind of conflict. This one would pit Christian against Christian. The original plan was to sail to Egypt. Egypt was the most powerful Muslim state at the time. The Crusaders believed that by conquering Egypt, they could then attack Jerusalem. They gathered in Venice, ready to set sail for the Holy Land. However, fate, it seemed, had other plans. The Venetian merchants saw an opportunity in the Crusaders' plight. The Crusaders were supposed to pay for ships to take them to Egypt, but they didn't have enough money. The Venetians, led by the cunning Doge Enrico Dandolo, offered a deal. They would provide the ships, but in return, the Crusaders had to capture the city of Zara for them. Zara was a Christian city, but it had once been under Venetian control. The Crusaders were torn. They had taken vows to fight for the Holy Land, not to attack fellow Christians. However, they were stranded in Venice, deeply in debt. Many argued that capturing Zara would give them the resources they needed for their true mission in the Holy Land. In the end, greed and desperation won out. They attacked and conquered Zara, much to the Pope's fury. He excommunicated the entire Crusader army. The betrayal of Zara was just the beginning. The Crusaders were now mercenaries, their holy mission compromised. Their actions had set a dangerous precedent, one that would soon lead them to an even greater act of treachery. As the Crusaders lingered in Zara, an opportunity arose, one that promised wealth and a way to reach the Holy Land. A Byzantine prince, Alexios Angelos, approached them. He offered a deal that seemed too good to be true. Alexios had a claim to the Byzantine throne. His uncle had usurped the throne and blinded Alexios's father. Alexios promised the Crusaders a vast sum of money if they helped him reclaim his birthright. He also vowed to reunite the Eastern and Western churches under the Pope's authority. This was a tempting offer. The Crusaders were eager for wealth and eager to heal the rift within Christianity. Driven by greed and the promise of religious unity, the Crusaders agreed to help Alexios. They set sail for Constantinople, the most magnificent city in the Christian world. Their arrival would change the course of history. They were no longer liberators, but conquerors. Section 4. The Queen City falls, Constantinople in flames. In the spring of 1204, the Crusaders arrived at the walls of Constantinople. The sight that greeted them was breathtaking. The city's golden domes and soaring spires were a testament to the glory of the Byzantine Empire. However, the Crusaders were not there to admire its beauty. The citizens of Constantinople were horrified. They had welcomed the Crusaders as fellow Christians, but they were repaid with treachery. They fought fiercely to defend their city, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. The Crusaders, armed with siege towers and catapults, were relentless. After a short siege, the Crusaders breached the walls and poured into the city. What followed was 3 days of unimaginable horror. The Crusaders, drunk with victory and greed, unleashed their fury upon the city. Section 5. The Wounds of Betrayal, a Legacy of Division. The sack of Constantinople was a crime against humanity. The Crusaders, who had vowed to protect the innocent, engaged in wanton violence and destruction. They looted homes, churches, and palaces. Priceless icons and relics were stolen, melted down, or destroyed. Libraries that had preserved the wisdom of the ancient world were burned. The citizens of Constantinople were subjected to unspeakable cruelty. Thousands were murdered, women were raped, and children were sold into slavery. The Hagia Sophia, the most sacred church in the Byzantine Empire, was desecrated. Horses were stabled within its hallowed halls, and prostitutes plied their trade beneath its magnificent dome. The Fourth Crusade and the sack of Constantinople left a scar on the Christian world that has yet to fully heal. It deepened the rift between the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches. The Byzantine Empire, weakened and humiliated, never fully recovered. It finally fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. The betrayal of Constantinople is a reminder of the dangers of greed, ambition, and religious intolerance. It is a dark chapter in the history of Christianity, a story that should be remembered and learned from.